Pinot Gris and Pinot Grigio. Same grape, tastes very different, and they do a pretty good job of naming them to the style in which they are going to be presented. So Pinot Grigio is the Italian name for the grape, and it's probably surprising that I'm putting it in this shipment because I have said not so great things about Pinot Grigio in the past, and rightfully so. It's been overplanted, it's been overproduced, it's planted in the wrong spots, it's made in really fertile places, but Pinot Grigio, when grown in the right spots, which are cool mountain spots, which get sun during the day and get cool nights, so they're able to hoard acidity but still develop actual flavor as opposed to just being alcoholic lemon water, you get some really great flavors out of Pinot Grigio. So the wine that we have is from Vignette delle Dolomiti, the IGT of the Dolomite Mountains, essentially. And this is Mont Mes. This is from Castelfider. They're such a great producer, a third generation producer in Alto Adige. They make a huge line of wines. This is their entry tier wine, but you would never know it because it is so much more complex than any other Pinot Grigio that you would imagine. So this is in the South Tyrol region or Alto Adige region, and you have microclimates within the Dolomite Mountains that Castelfider is really trying to understand. So sunny days, you're protected from the cool stuff coming from the north by the mountains. You have high elevations, there's very poor soils, that usually leads to very flavorful grapes. Sustainable farming on these high elevation sites and very diverse soils, but mostly volcanic, which is going to give you some dimension, and sedimentary limestone, which generally is great for big aromatics. This wine is a drink now wine. It's aged on the lees, on the dead yeast cells. So that's for 5 months. That's going to give it a little bit more richness, a little more style, a little more toastiness. Let's taste this wine. If we look at the color on our white sheet of paper, you know, it is a little pink tinged, which happens with Pinot Grigio because Pinot Grigio is actually a pink skinned grape most of the time, at least golden skin. So it's got some of that, little bronzy. Give it a spin around the glass and take a sniff. So lemon, almond, floral notes. You smell some of that toastiness inside of this Pinot Grigio. So really complex and layered on the nose. Let's taste it. It is nice and acidic, but nice bitter finish. That's very typical of Pinot Grigio. But almond notes, those nutty notes, the floral notes, and lots of citrus. So delicious, but a little bit floral too. So complex, so many layers. It tastes a bit like minerals as well. I love this wine. I think it is a great example of Pinot Grigio because it shows the potential of what you're going to get when you grow it in the right places where you get the direct sun and then you have the cool nights that are going to ensure that excellent acidity. So great balance, fantastic wine. We are going to compare that with the 2021 Ashlyn Pinot Grigio from the Willamette Valley. Now, Pinot Gris is the same grape as Pinot Grigio, and on clay and marine sediment, though, you're gonna get a little heavier, richer wine. The winemakers here are Bryan and Shellie Croft. They worked at Napa's Silverado Vineyards for many years before starting this project. Ashlyn comes from a Gaelic word that means dream or vision. This was their dream or vision. This is mainly from 2 very cool sites, so it is kind of apples to apples in the Duzer Corridor. Now, in Oregon, there's coastal mountains and there's a break in the coastal mountains, and that is where the wind comes in, making it possible to cool down the whole Willamette Valley or many parts of the Willamette Valley. This site, or these 2 sites, are right on the Duzer Corridor, so it is quite cold here. There's also some inland sites, and that's going to give the wine a little more richness because if they were just grown on the Duzer Corridor, it may be a little too acidic. Organic farming, as I said, shallow clay over marine sediment. So let's take a look at this wine. This is not quite as pink as the Mont Mes, but it is a nice rich golden color. Again, Pinot Grigio has some color. So give it a spin around the glass, take a sniff. Made in stainless steel, just like the Castle feeder. Really, really nice peach pit, pear, herbal quality. Let's taste it. I recommend serving this a little bit warmer so you can get the full taste or the full note of that pear and that peach pit, which are really, really strong. Also very smooth, lovely textures. But you still know this is Pinot Grigio. The acidity is there, there's a slight bitterness on the end, and there are citrus notes. But the Oregon version, very smooth, silky, lovely, but still with mouth-watering acidity. And the one from Alto Adige, much brighter, much fresher, much more acidic with more citrus notes, some floral notes, and herbal aromatics. So that's the difference. Really taste these two. Hopefully you will have a day or two of overlap, or you can have a friend over and have them together and see what the similarities and differences are. I think you'll find it really fascinating. These two are different, but also the same. So taste them together and just have some fun with it.